Greetings, vloggers, bloggers, followers, and potters. Dustin here from Dustin's Dynasty with another edition of this week's vlog. If you haven't been following me for a while, I've been doing this vlog thing for about 5 years now. That it'll be coming up this June, and as of I've been living on my own for about 6 years now, and I've had a part-time job for about 15 years. And I am on the spectrum. I've been autistic, been diagnosed over 26 years ago. Um, it's been a while anyway. And so this week I'm going to share a little bit about what it's like I do every week, of what it's like to be on the spectrum. And with it being May, and today is May 3rd, and it's Mental Health Month. So mental health is a struggle for me and always has been in my independence for most of it until a couple months ago, till the first of this year. And so, why does mental health matter to me? And that's what I've named the title of this vlog this week. Mental health matters. It does matter. And to anybody, whether you're autistic, neurotypical, or just atypical, or have any kind of challenge, mental health does matter. I've seen it in my own family's life. I've seen it, even when there's challenging situations. And even as an artistic person, I have seen it. I'm not, I have challenges too. I have other diagnoses. One of those that really has stood out, I'd say, when I wasn't myself the last few years, has been my starts of my relapses into bipolar mania. And to say that is hard to say really, but it is the truth. And I know that there are, realities that I must understand. One of the biggest realities that I have understood as being a person who has bipolar disorder, along with being autistic, is the need for medication. And, medication may not be the thing for everyone, but it is a common practice among mental health challenges, mental health standards. Um, that sort of thing. And I do talk about medication a lot because it really can be what the perceptor is of me having a good day and a bad day. And for most of the past, until, like I said, until the first of this year, off and on throughout the past 5 or so years of living independent, I was really not in a clear faculty because I wasn't taking care of my mental health. And one of the primary preceptors of that was not taking my medication. It was a battle that I fought many times, and nearly I've not always truly paid the price, but there were times that I paid the price. It has been by the grace of God that I have had the chances given back to me to return to my normal situations because those people who oversee me in those situations know that in my right mind I am needed. And it is so that in that right mind, it helps with the understanding that medication is a necessary evil. And as much as the side effects can be hurting and be challenging, it is up to me to do what I need to do to combat them, whether that's eating healthier, exercising a little more each day, uh, to combat the side effects that I so complain about. That was what I had experienced when I had went into relapse, if you will. I had thought that that it would help take away the pain I was feeling as a result of the side effects. Mostly weight gain was one of the biggest issues. And while nobody likes to experience weight gain, and while it can be unpleasant, there is a part of me that realizes that I have to be the one that makes the decisions, even though medication is necessary and I know it provides me for a wonderful state of well-being. I must also realize that I must also do the work too to combat the the weight gain and as best as I can and be mindful of what I am letting past my lips, what I am drinking, how I am exercising, making sure that I'm getting enough sleep. All of these things matter. as does many other things, but it's also being cognizant of what helps my medicine work and what doesn't, what it does, what contributes to it not being its best. I think one of the things that really helped me open my eyes to the first of the year was some videos that I watched on YouTube of the streaming drama Shameless, and seeing that, how the character Ian Gallagher experiences bipolar disorder, and how important meds make you clear versus when you're not, and when you're in that manic episode, and what that really looks like, and to see maybe a similarity of what that looks like, and how people also, like, how his partner really cares for him, and that, knowing that if that love could be had, and not just in me, but just in others, how people care so much, and how scary situations can be when you're not taking care of your mental health. And there have been times in my life when it has not been the best, and I know that, and things can be challenging in life. But the reality is, you think one thing fixes it and it doesn't. And then when you get to another thing, you think, oh, it doesn't work this way. But then you finally realize, and you finally come to terms that what is being ordered to you is necessary. What must be done must be done. And I come to terms with that. I understand that now. It's a part of life. It's a part of what it is. And especially in a time when my family does not have a lot of care to give to me because they have other priorities, that I must do what I am able to do to keep my composure and be my best self, especially when there are indeed medications that I take that do assist with some of the autistic traits that are intertwined with other conditions that help make life more smooth, make life more pleasant, and just make things go well. And it takes a lot to see that. It takes a lot to understand that there are realities too in the world, that if you're not taking care of your mental health in the way that you need to, that there are some pretty scary things that could happen. They could have happened, and they can. And that's just, it's just the reality of it. And part of it too was believing I couldn't do certain things, but I later found out I could do them, and I was fine. It's hard to understand and get a grasp of it and be thinking about that. But in reality, you have to fight for what you know. And I'm hopeful that I never go back into that relapse state again, because I have learned all the lessons. I have walked the walk. I have talked the talk. I know what reality is. And as hard as it can be to imagine what that is, I know that it just makes me a person that I don't want to be. And, it can be hard. When we think about our other serving systems, like our justice system, our criminal justice system, our mental health system, as particularly as far as inpatient care, and what that looks like under the the cusp of an autistic person, and how damaging that could be further to my mental health, when I don't realize, when things could happen to my clarity and my understanding, to the point where that could be an issue, and things like a psychiatric hold would be necessary, and how damaging that could be to me. So, I think seeing all of those things, maybe, if there was ever, imprisonment or things like that, how dangerous that could be to my mental health, and to understand the that my faculties need to be clear, and that I need to take care of my mental health always and forever, even as damaging as it can be. And even, but I must also do the work and be the person that I need to be. Because if I'm not the person that I need to be, then I'm not the person that can be trusted or accounted for or be valued or believed, or, and instead, when you're not yourself, you could be the person who's not trusted, who's not understood, who's not believed, because maybe they're not, just, you're not in your right mind, and those that know that, and they don't believe, they just pass it off as you being mentally unstable and mentally unsafe, and that can be a barrier to getting what you need and what you want. um it's a scary thing, and I think I have to realize that for myself, and I hope that in the right mind, that it that there are understanding how those medications work, understanding how my mental health works, and why I need certain things and not need certain things. Those things all matter in reality. And I have finally understood them. And finally, after many years of suffering, understand why things need to be the way they need to be. And even if not seeing them as a struggle, because maybe maybe people understand that it's okay to be who I am right now, and maybe if I want to work at making changes, as far as my health, my weight, my food intake, that's on me. But right now I'm still loved, I'm cared for, I'm the person that I need to be. I matter. Everyone matters in reality. It doesn't matter what you look like or who you are. Life is always worth living. You matter, you are loved, you are enough. That's just the reality of it. I was blessed to be able to go to a suicide prevention walk last Friday, and I got this shirt there because it was raining and I wanted to change it to something when I got back to day services. But just walking that lap in the rain, for those who have struggled, and believe me, there are times when I have struggled and I have said passive thoughts that I had no business saying. And I think there is a statistic out there that 25% of autistic people have contemplated suicide or dying by suicide. That it's a reality of a thing. And, we have to talk about it. We have to have this conversation sometime. And maybe I will in the future. But I think I realized too that, when there's not enough care to give because, my family has a new situation and that care has to be given to somebody else other than me. I have to be the one who works at being his best self so that I can take care of myself and others in the process and be well and give that reassurance that I am doing well, I am doing fine. And it's a struggle sometimes, but I know that saying hurtful things, doing hurtful things, making hurtful statements, making threats, be terrorizing loved ones. That's not healthy. That's very toxic and threatening. And I hope to never go that way again. I am working to strive to be better this mental health month. I am trying to take my mental health seriously, and really work at solving the problems of the world. And if you're not, it's a struggle that we live, we as human beings, and especially autistic human beings, mostly suffer with all the time. And it can be sometimes hard to get through a day or through a challenge, but we get through it. And that's the one thing I do. I overcome my challenges. And when the world says no, or the world gives me, I always look for that one reason or that one smile to make it go well. And that's what matters to me. That, in a nutshell, is what you have to be the one to keep going. You have to be the one to know that you are loved, you matter, you are enough. All of those things. That's what it's all about. That's what matters. That's what keeps it going. Mental health matters. It's something, it's not a stigma. It's not something to be scared of. Yes, when people are unwell, it does look scary. I experienced that myself. I've been there. I never want to go to that again because I know people were scared for me. People were, frightened and scared of what I was doing. They knew I was not myself. And even if I have to carry this weight and work at getting it off on my own and making progress on my own and doing things the right way. The last 2 years, in the summer, we work at losing weight. In the last 2 years, I have not done it the right way. And this year, I am proud to say I'm going to work at doing it the right way because I know I need to do it that way. It's not right to do it any other way, and it's appropriate to do it the right way. So let's set off to have a great summer, a good mental health month, and let's go for it. I want to thank you for listening. If you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe. If you want to listen to more content, be sure to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, X, and Pinterest. That handle is Dustin's Dynasty. I'm on the web. That address is www.dustinsdynastyusa.com. And lastly, I'm on Linktree, and you can find all my handles to all my podcasting platforms and all my socials there. That handle is Dustin's Dynasty. Again, I want to thank you. Take care of yourself. Stay safe out there. Have a good mental health month. Remember, you are loved, you matter, you are enough. We'll see you next time. Take care, everyone.